Republicans have an opportunity to ensure that they can win the midterms, and it has everything to do with school choice. It is every company's strategy to become politically entrenched in your system so that economically and legally you are forever funded. School choice is one of those examples. Now, I am a big school choice proponent. I am a person who is able to use school choice going up by being able to attend a charter school. Obviously, that's going to be my bias, but school choice is an interesting concept in which government can create its own economies to fund itself to ensure that it stays in power, specifically in party politics. For Republicans, we can look at school choice. For Democrats, we can look at the transgender movement. For school choice, think of just like this. Every major Republican state has become a school choice state. Those charter schools receive funding from the state. They get business, and a lot of them, whether they're for-profits or non-profits, are able to then lobby government. So they can lobby government to ensure that they stay represented and also give politicians some of the money that they receive. That way, their industry becomes entrenched. So as the school choice movement grows, so does the Republican Party and its power, which is why it'll be no surprise to me if Congress tries to pass a universal school choice bill, because that would give Republicans a huge amount of money up into the midterm cycle and also for 2028 when the next presidential election will be. This is no different in a sense than the same funding mechanisms for transgender surgeries. Although I highly disagree with transgender surgeries for minors and that whole issue, which I find quite repulsive, it has become an industry. What happens is now that transgender surgeries have become a popular phenomenon and have started making doctors a lot of money. Those doctors, those clinics, that entire economic field of business then starts buying off politicians and lobbying. And it's only able to do so because of the legal protection it gets from, say, the Democratic Party. This is nothing new. Those who have studied Planned Parenthood know this is exactly how that works, which one of the reasons Republicans want to get rid of Planned Parenthood isn't just because they don't like abortion, but because Planned Parenthood is very obviously a funding mechanism for the Democratic Party. And this may seem like a no-brainer, but this is actually a very important concept to understand. As a business, you can create your own economic and political momentum by further entrenching your interest in whatever the political climate is, so that regulations encourage your growth, encourage your money, then you give that money back to politicians to ensure that they are reliant on you and your industry never goes away. This is kind of a chicken or egg issue. What comes first, the industry or the government promoting the industry? Certainly, Florida has been a leader in school choice, and Florida pushing forward school choice bills helped create the springboard for the rest of the industry to launch, much like how Colorado created that similar economic incentive for marijuana, which then that industry used its dollars it's made from the state of Colorado to then start lobbying other state legislatures. So you can now see how the political cycle of business growth and lobbying becomes self-fulfilling. And the only check on that is legislative, because that money train doesn't stop until the legislature or the government itself says, this is something we now need to limit or ban, which totally comes at the realm of whichever political party is in power. Now, luckily for marijuana as an industry, both Republicans and Democrats now support it, so they shouldn't have to worry about much of anything. But as far as school choice goes, school choice's next mission and final mission will be the state of Texas, which we will see if Governor Abbott can pass anything in this legislative cycle. And then in Congress, to see if that finally Congress can do something about school choice while also defunding the Department of Education. If the school choice lobby is able to get those simple victories, they will be able to tap into the resources of the second most populous state, which is Texas, and also the third largest economy, as well as the entire United States if it becomes federally legal. And all those resources are going to then go to the Republican midterms and presidential election, meaning that school choice passage is not just about school choice for children. It's about ensuring that Republicans can keep a majority in not only state houses, but in the federal government as well.